I actually consider the Ford EcoSport as a pioneer of sorts. Back a few years ago when it was first introduced, there weren't that many 1.5 liter compact crossovers out there. But nowadays, everyone from Chinese brands to more established brands have their own version of the Ford EcoSport. Does the Ford EcoSport still have the cachet after a major refresh to be one of the more competitive crossovers out there? And does the 1.5 liter trend variant have enough value for your hard-earned cash? What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today we'll be looking at the Ford EcoSport Trend. First off, let's discuss that front end. Now, when the Ford EcoSport was first introduced, it had that weird two-layered grille to it, but this time it has this huge sporty grille and a kind of a honeycomb blend to it. Now, if you look at the overall look of the Ford EcoSport, I think it actually gives it a more athletic, a more aggressive stance overall, especially when paired to those halogen headlamps. Now, if you look below those halogen headlamps, you actually have an even larger looking fog lamps that's integrated with the turn signals. Now, you also have this front skid plates. The overall appearance of the Ford EcoSport, especially in the trend variant with the lack of chrome thereof, is actually quite nice. I mean, I know it's getting long in the tooth now, especially it's been available for the past couple of years, but it still looks fresh enough to be more competitive, especially with the all-new crossovers released by other brands. Heading over to the side profile of the Ford EcoSport, with 209mm of ground clearance in a cute form factor, it actually looks pretty nice. I mean, it's even got nice 17-inch mags, shot in 205 50R17 tires. That's kind of chunky looking, especially with this, like I said, small form factor. Of course, you've got this interesting kink on the D-pillar right here. It actually looks like a floating roof that actually mimics a lot of larger SUVs out there. But you know, you saw it here first in the Ford EcoSport. You also have this nice side mirrors right here. They're not automatic. Of course, this is the trend variant. Of course, you got your roof rails on top and of course the side body panels. But thankfully, those body panels are not present on the wheel arches right here. Of course, heading over to the rear of the Ford EcoSport, one thing that actually is quite a throwback to those older SUVs is this spare tire out back. The last time I saw this spare tire would probably be one of those older RAV4s or even the Mitsubishi Adventures of old, and you can still find it right here on the EcoSport. Now, one of the few perks that I like about the Ford EcoSport is that it's not boring. If you look at where the door handles are, it's actually quite integrated into the rear tail lamps right here on the right side. It actually looks like an extension of the tail lamp, but all you have to do is just press on that nice button right there and the doors would automatically open. Voila. Another throwback for SUVs of old is this, swing type doors. Instead of having those hatch types that opens up like a clamshell, this opens up to the side. It's not the most practical of things at all, but at least you get this nice interior at the back to put all your stuff in. And of course, you can fold those seats down to give way to taller and larger items. Inside the Ford EcoSport Trend, you definitely won't be getting a lot of the features you'd find on the Titanium or the EcoBoost models, but you still get a lot for what you're paying for. You also have a larger 9-inch color touchscreen, so you can go ahead and play your tunes on that. It doesn't have Ford Sync 3 system, but if you ask me, having a 9-inch touchscreen is definitely a win for me. It still has soft touch materials. You don't get push to start. You get the old-fashioned key right there. You also have, of course, your cooled glove box. You still get the cooled glove box, but you won't get automatic climate control. Although they don't have leather seating, it's pretty good. It's pretty supportive, even though they're just fabric seats. Door panels are definitely scratchy plastic there, and of course the windows, you can definitely adjust them from your driver's side. There's only automatic up and down when it comes to the driver's side window, and everything else is pretty much the same if you think about it. when you compare it to the top-of-the-line titanium model. Again, you won't be missing out. You still have your USB ports, you still have your traction control, which of course we'll be discussing later on. You got your shifter right there, which I will definitely be harping on later on because it's different from the previous model's EcoSport. For some people at least, some people see that as a win. Some people will say that's one less thing to worry about, and that's one less thing to worry about in the EcoSport trend. Let me check out the rear passenger seats so that I can give you guys down low and see exactly how that works out for us. That's definitely not bad, guys. It's actually great. Are you kidding me? It's not. All right, when it comes to the rear seats, I was actually expecting it to be a real cramp fest, especially with my size. I'm 5'10.5" and I'm sitting on my natural driving position, but I still have a lot of knee room. It's actually more knee room than I find in some other crossovers out there. And you can even unlock the doors from the rear. I don't know what use that's gonna have. I wish they just placed two USB ports in the back, instead of that weird feature where you can unlock the doors from where you are. But yeah, it's nice. And the rear door panels are actually nice. Yeah, you can just go ahead and rest your arm right here. Look at the window outside. It has nice visibility for passengers. And okay, I'm sold. If I'm a passenger, I can see myself riding in a Ford EcoSport, even if it's a trend variant, no problems. And yeah, I just wish that there was a center armrest right here in the trend variant. That's something that you're gonna miss out in this one, but it's no problem, it's no biggie. A lot of people have learned to live without without center armrests, but at least you got one right here. So yeah, that's definitely a good one for us. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the drive. And I got a lot of key features and notes to give you guys that I think you should note whenever you buy a Ford EcoSport. All right, so we're off in the Ford EcoSport trend. Now, it has the same engine as the titanium variant, the 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine, and that makes 121 horsepower and 150 newton meters of torque. Now, that's apart from the, of course, top-of-the-line variant, which has the 1 liter EcoBoost, but that's a different EcoSport. Now, under that hood, you might think that that's not much power. You say 121 horsepower. Yeah, that's not gonna fire up your loins or anything. But consider the weight and size of the Ford EcoSport. It gives you good power to weight ratio, all in all. And you'll find cars that have a poorer power to weight ratio than this one. And I gotta say, this transmission, the 6-speed automatic transmission, is definitely the game changer when it comes to this car. When this car was first introduced, it had that dual clutch transmission, the dreaded power shift transmission. Now, when people was first introduced to that transmission, everyone was going crazy over it. It was like, wow, the fuel economy and responsiveness of a manual transmission, but the convenience of an automatic. But as everyone found out, it really wasn't the case. It was clunky. It had some durability issues and all that. But of course, Ford isn't afraid to try new things. So they went ahead and tried that out, and they were man enough to know that it doesn't work. And they were kind enough to listen to their audience and their customers. So now you have this traditional 6-speed automatic, and I'd say, if you hear that revs right now, okay, we've just reached our red line and it's willing to rev all the way high up, and it's surprising what the EcoSport can do. Now, suspension wise, it's definitely one of the better riding subcompact crossovers out there. You've got McPherson struts up front and a torsion rear bar in the rear. Okay, so we all know that the sport side of things in EcoSport is there. What about fuel economy? Well, I'm glad to report that if you don't drive like a madman, you'd get around 8 kilometers per liter in the city, and that's not bad. That's not bad, especially in a compact crossover SUV such as this one. I mean, if you get subcompact numbers on this large a car, well, relatively large a car, that's definitely not bad. Also, if you reach the highway, let's see, 14 kilometers per liter on the highway, that's definitely achievable. But again, disclaimer, you'd only reach those numbers if you drive like a sane person, right? So it's not about safety. If you're thinking that you're losing out on a lot when it comes to the Ford EcoSport trend over the Ford EcoSport Titanium, then you're dead wrong. The Ford EcoSport trend has everything that the Ford EcoSport Titanium has when it comes to safety. So that includes ABS, you've got electronic brake force distribution, you've got traction control, you've got hill start assist, you've got hill descent control, you got backup cameras, you got proximity sensors, front and rear proximity sensors, the works. The only difference is that it only has 4 airbags than 7. Pricing for the Ford EcoSport Trend with the manual transmission starts at 750,000 pesos. But if you want the automatic variant, which is this car that we're testing right now, it's quite a significant price jump, 998,000 pesos. But I heard that Ford is having this promotion lately, and they've always got promos. In fact, they're always available at Zigwheels.Ph, so go ahead, visit Zigwheels.Ph for all those promos, and you may never know, you might get a good deal out of Ford EcoSport Trend. So there you have it, folks. That's the Ford EcoSport Trend. It definitely lives up to its name. It's economical, yet a tad bit sporty, and I think it still has the guts to do battle against the current crop of compact crossovers in the market. What do you think? Leave us a comment in the comment section down below, and if you love our video, please leave us a like, and why not subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so that you're updated whenever we upload a new video. Once again, guys, thanks so much for watching. It's Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.